My name's Robert Schaefer. I was born in Kansas, in the city of Wichita, and raised in New Orleans and Slidell from a small child, and have been in and out of New Orleans on road trips. This is my rescue dog named George. He's part pit bull and part Catahoula cur dog. He's my companion out here on the river. I've been out here almost, 21 years. Before it was gentrified, maybe one or two people a week, maybe one or two people a month would have came here in the past. And now there's, I asked my friend who babysat the shop while I was working on another project today across the lake. He informed me that over 50 people came today. That's quite a few on a Tuesday. When I was a kid in Kansas, my next door neighbors had a garage converted into a picture frame shop. In the winters, I would go fill nail holes with putty for Smitty on Saturdays and Sundays when he was making frames. And it put me in a hands-on position of, at a very early age, of watching this guy measure and chop, and which I owned one of the machines that I was told never to get around, the foot-powered guillotine. When I started carving, I used a piece of wood that was a fence post, so I repurposed that. The first piece I ever really did and sold, it was an alligator. Earlier, when you got here today, I was converting cypress knees and soda pop crates into tables, repurposing them. And you know, what the hell? You got trees that grow table legs for you, you might as well use them. I think that they're fun. The joke is it kind of barks, and there's bark on the cypress knees. And my dog barks, and I've been playing on the barks thing. I made a bottle cap dog out of barks caps. Apparently this internet, which is all Greek to me, but somehow I hooked up with this dude that traded. He traded me a bunch of mine for a whole assortment of stuff that I never could get, including two elusive Dr. Nutt boxes, which relates back to John Kennedy Toole's book, Confederacy of Dunces. And I've recently dismantled Dr. Nutt's garage at 817 St. Ferdinand Street. So when I went in it, I noticed this big sign, and it was just beautiful, and it was hanging there, and I went and grabbed it. And when I did, I looked up, and that's when I saw the reason this building was never pilfered. It was full of honeybees. I had to be so inquisitive as to suit up and duct tape myself in my shrimp boots and welding gloves and a jumpsuit, a net around my head and everything. But them bees got me. They got up in my bee hat and went to stinging me all in the face in our run down the alley by Dr. Nutt's house, and the iron gate, it don't go out, but I hit it so hard running from them bees, I made it go out, and it come back and hit me in the head and knocked me for a loop. Ironically, the first piece I made was a story about Ignatius J. Riley, the character in the book, Confederacy of Dunces, that he and Dr. Nutt went on a trip, a forbidden trip. He left the city and they went to Honey Island Swamp. And as you see behind me, there's a Honey Island Swamp monster right there made out of beta caps. A lot of people in South Louisiana and around here, when they see this, they call it rougarou. But I made it because I grew up around Honey Island Swamp. And these came from Hansel and Gretel Harlan over here on the skeleton. And that's the skeletal remains of Onion Head. You're born in Kansas, and these black kids are telling you a story of a black albino that runs around called Onion Head in the swamps. You pay attention. After Katrina, there was beaucoup stuff to junk. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. There was ample opportunity to have warehouses full of cool stuff that you would never, I can't get to none of this stuff in my lifetime. 12 feet of water in my parents' house down in the middle of Slidell. Devastating. Even what I saw from Camille as a kid could never replace the images that I saw during Katrina. And there was people making art out of all kinds of stuff, other people's losses, and that kind of affected me a little bit because I came close to being one of those victims myself. I've got some beautiful signs here that were salvaged from the hurricane that I treasure. Poor Boys Fishing Social and Pleasure Club. Man, who would leave that sign laying in the mud? I want to join that club. You know, they got all the components I'm interested in: fishing, social, and lazing and pleasure. My turtle's made out of wheelbarrows. I made the tails out of some kind of African antelope that I found in the trash. Well, since I'm associated with bottle capping my art on my picture frames and stuff, I found these at garage sales and wherever I can get them, beer ads and what have you, and I paint my Be Nice or Leave signs on them. One day I counted 3 5,000 boxes of staples in one piece, you know, so there's maybe 10 to 15,000 bottle caps in the sculpture. This year I painted on tambourines, and I didn't think about them being a musical instrument. I just thought of them as a surface. And I recycled a bunch of water-spotted, unsellable musical instruments that I found in the trash. And I found an outlet for them. I just bought 50 of them the other day from a company. And that's how fast people like them so much. I had to keep up with the demand. Plus you can play them. It's art that you can listen to. So there you have it. I've been found out. Give it a little texture. That's cooler, if you ask me.